Thanks for hanging with the Hazes. I'm Keon, and behind us is Hayes Tabernacle. And we have an Onan generator. It's an Onan Marquis 7000, and we've been having some problems. And the problems have been relatively severe in the sense that we had to replace the starter on the generator. No problem. I didn't have to drop the generator to do that. We replaced the fuel pump because for some apparent reason we were not getting fuel to the generator. Now, the two issues are unrelated. However, in researching the fuel pump, what I've come to the conclusion is that the line that Fleetwood used to go from the gas tank to the generator rots out. And it can rot out in one of three places. It can rot out in the rubber going from the back of the line to the fuel pump in the generator. The metal line itself in the middle can rot out. Or, if you're an unlucky soul like me, it can rot out right at the top of the sender, where there's a, in my case, there's a rubber piece that goes into the tank that drips down to get fuel. And it goes low enough to where the coach, when it gets down to a quarter tank, it stops sucking and all that good stuff. Well, anyway, nevertheless, thank the government for wonderful E10, it has rotted out the lines over the years. I'm in a situation. I have to camp next week. I'm going to potentially be in a boondock situation on Sunday, and I have no generator. So we thought, I've come up with a way to supply fuel to the generator in an emergency situation, and I want to share it with everybody. Here's what you're going to need. You're going to need a gas can. 5-gallon gas can should do, and it should allow your generator to run. If it sucks a half a gallon an hour, you're talking 10 hours of time. That'll at least get you to Georgia before you have to fill it up. A couple of bungees to hold that gas tank down. And if we walk back here, we're going to mount it in the bay where the plumbing and all that stuff takes place. And if you look right here, we're going to mount it in that little thing from Walmart. Okay? You're also going to need this is a 1/2-inch drill bit. And what we're going to do is we're going to walk back around here, and 1/4 inch diameter, or the inner lumen 1/4 inch fuel line is about a 1/2 inch on the outside diameter. I'm going to drill a hole right here. And what we're going to do is we're going to run a 1/4 inch line into this tank, out through the bottom of that area, over to the fuel pump. And this is going to be our temporary fuel pump until we get this fixed next month at a local shop, because dropping this 75-gallon tank is not fun at all. We're going to drill here, and at the top here, we're going to drill a little vent hole, 1/8 of an inch, really tiny, just so that this tank can breathe. That's how we're going to solve our generator problem for the moment. We're going to use those straps to hold that tank to that black thing back there, and hopefully we'll have this generator running in about 15 minutes. So, and in a pinch, you don't have to run out and buy a generator. You just got to supply it for gas if this ever happens. And I'll try to video as much of it as I can and show you how it works when we're all done. What I want to specify is this is a brand new gas can. Under no circumstance would I suggest using a gas can that has already had petroleum introduced to it. You're asking for a potential problem should this drill spark for any reason. So I would suggest buying a brand new can. It's $11 at Walmart. It's better than trying to explain to an insurance company why you just blew some stuff up. So the first thing we're going to do is drill here, like such. Now I want to make sure I'm drilling in the right spot. All right. Now, once we have that drilled, we're going to drill on the other side up here, a small pilot hole. Okay, so there's our pilot hole. The reason that we're drilling this hole is so that when this is going to be sealed. gonna put a little silicone around it when it's done. This is gonna keep this from collapsing in and doing any type of thing. Basically, that's my vent that the main tank would have. So let's get a hole in there. Let's get it strapped down and see if we can get this thing cranked up. Went to the gas station, got 5 gallons of gas. As you see, I have this thing kind of pressed in there. Don't even really have to seal it. I mean, it looks like this quarter-inch lumen hose is a 1/2 inch outside diameter, and it kind of just seals itself. So as you see, I kind of ran it through there, and let's see if we can climb under here and see. I ran it to where the fuel pump is, and I primed it the best way that I could, and now we're gonna see if she starts. So let's cross our fingers and pray that the good Lord decides to grant us some mercy today and she fires up. And there she goes. So that's how you bypass the fuel pump or the gas tank if you have to, and she'll run for I don't know how long off of that. So I'm gonna kind of neatly tuck everything in here and tack everything up. We'll go from there. So as you see, with a little bit of prayer and ingenuity, the Lord can kind of make things happen out of no way. That situation didn't have to be that easy, but it just so happens that the generator was close enough to that bay, and I was able to get some of that lumen and that fuel hose to get back there and kind of get things running. So the good news is it is a temporary fix. Now I can get it down to the shop and kind of figure out what in the world is going on down there in that tank, and hopefully we can have it back running the way it's supposed to. Thanks so much for checking this out. Hopefully that helped you out if you get into a jam. If your tank is not allowing the generator to pick up fuel, this will at least buy you some time to get up the road, especially if it's hot as the dickens outside and you got to run the big ACs. So that's it. Thank you so much for hanging with the Hazes. And again, glad we were able to work this one out. Hopefully this helps somebody out real good.